Hello everyone! Welcome to the last part of the presentation of my LEGO gear, this time about the equipment I use for shooting, editing and produce instruction. Let's start with the studio, which is the same room as my LEGO desk. It is composed of a simple table with a grey vinyl background from Fondart. I have chosen vinyl background over a paper one because it is less sensitive to the fault and can be clean, even if the paint is still fragile. It exists in many dimensions and color, so I let you check the link in the description if you are interested. The lighting is the most important part in this studio, because you can have a great camera. If the lights are not good, the picture and video will not look good, so I recommend investing a bit more in the light. The light I use is from Gradualite, which are LED panel with diffuser at a reasonable price, around 90 €. More expensive than big softbox I have before, but way more qualitative, especially the light diffusion and the adjustable brightness and color temperature. I have purchased recently the TR450 as a top light, which replaced the big softbox. It has the advantages to be the same as a key light, which is better for having the same color temperature on all the scene. It just needs a better support than the thin rope I used, but for now it works. Having a top and two key lights are still a very good start for making pictures and video, but I have also purchased a smaller panel which is on the camera, which reduces the shadow or enable to illuminate a specific area. All the lights are connected to a multi-socket bolt under the table in order to have a minimal cable on the ground and switch all the lights in the same time. The Gradualite lights are a very good deal to create a functional and affordable studio, so if you are interested in Gradualite product, I put an affiliate link in the description as well as a discount code. Let's move on the camera. This is a Panasonic GH5, which is not very affordable, but it is clearly one of the best cameras for video as the Sony Alpha. I have purchased some years ago in used condition and put a Vario Elmarit 1260 Leica lens on it. You can see here a comparison between my old Canon 700 and the GH5. The pictures with the Canon are very good because it's a full frame, but the GH5 is way better in video, especially regarding the stabilization. As good as I do not use anymore my slider to make the traveling, only make by hand. I use Manfrotto tripod with quick coupling. It enables me to use programmed setting for making pictures with a large aperture of f14 and long exposure with low ISO, and more classic one for the video. In addition to that, I have a very old GoPro with some accessories that I only use for inboard video or time-lapse, with two LEGO support to be attached to my lamp or to my desk. I'm considering buying a new one as the pictures are not very good and the stabilization I have made very good progress over the time. You can see that I have not many camera on lens, only one main camera with one lens and a GoPro. As I said before, the lighting is very important, so I prefer to have a good camera with good lens, good lights and a clean layout for my studio. To finish with the sound, I record the voiceover with a Rode SmartLav Lavalier, which is not the best but is very good and versatile for the price. I'm considering buying a USB podcast microphone such as the Blue Yeti or Elgato Wave, but I am not sure of which one I should take as my room is not very good for recording because of the reverberation. Let's move on the computer and software. My computer is a custom-built computer that I have made some years ago, when I stopped playing on console and wanted to switch on computers. The configuration has been upgraded many times, mainly for the processor, RAM and the graphic card. You can see here the full spec. Speaking of the performance related to the LEGO activities, they are very good. The big memory enables me to load big model in LEGO CAD software or instruction, or work in multitasking, and the graphic card plus the processor enable to make a smooth video editing. There are many computers which can handle LEGO software, especially if you use Studio from Bricklink, which need less requirement than other software. I only recommend to have enough RAM and a SSD for basic editing. Of course, a dedicated graphic card is better, but some integrated one works well. I use an external hard drive from Western Digital, which is a MacBook 4TB, which is important to save periodically my LEGO life. With about 1 TB, I do not want to lose them. To finish, the screen is a Philips, which is a very classic screen in Full HD 60 fps. The only important thing is that the color fidelity is good when switching to the RGB mode, which is important when editing the pictures to have a correct color on every device. That is why I do not recommend to make pictures editing on a crappy laptop which has bad screen. Speaking of editing, let's talk about the software I use. I use Filmora 11 for editing the video. It is a medium complex software for editing. I have less function than Adobe Premiere, for instance, but cheaper and easy to use for beginners. As I have learned to use for some years, I did not want to switch for now if I do not need advanced function. As it has a timeline, multiple tracks and some effect, this is all I need as my editing is not very complex. Regarding Lego software, I use LDCAD for creating the 3D model. It has the advantages to use the LDRAW library of parts, so it is compatible with many other software and have an up-to-date library thanks to the contributors. I use LPUP 3D for the instruction editing, which is also a very complete software, even if it is sometimes tricky to use and that the rendering time can be long for big model. In any way, it enables me to be very flexible of what I create, including flexible elements, cabling, part substitution, buffer exchange, sticker, in order to create good building instruction. I know that Studio from Bricklink is becoming more and more complete and is objectively easier to handle for beginner, but as I have learned on the LDRAW software, I use these and use only Studio when I want to create nice rendering. You know everything, so what's to conclude? You can see that my setup is rather classic and I have not many gears. It is at the image of my Lego collection, carefully chosen elements in order to reduce the amount of things, not only for cost saving but also because for me, less is more. Having a ton of Lego will not make me better in Lego design. Having other camera or more expensive computer will not drastically change what I do. Only the skills and the experience matters. This is for me the most precious things I have. So, if I wanted to spend more on my passion, I will try to increase my skill levels or learning new things. Then, when I will be at a correct skills and are limited by my material, then I can buy new gears by comparing and learning what I really need to avoid buying useless gears. In any way, please let me know in the comments if you have questions or if you want to debate or giving tips for the beginners. I hope you like this video. Take care, play well, bye!